Hey there, I am back. I hadn't posted a video in a while. We just had Hurricane Harvey come through, and it was pretty devastating here in Houston. Um, we got minor roof damage and leaking in the ceiling, but we were not flooded in. Our street was flooded, but it did not enter our house. So we were very fortunate or blessed, whatever it is that you call it. We were just, I'm just very grateful that, that, everything is fine for us compared to other people that just lost everything and are continuing to be living through this horrible thing right now. So I really hadn't felt like doing a video, but and our mail system has been down, so our post office and that kind of stuff. I mean, just everything has just been so crazy. But I wanted to post this, so many terrible things happening all over the place, and just having this, doing this is really like a ray of sunshine, and is happy. It's a happy thing. So I wanted to share this with you. This is the birds. It's a traveler's notebook. It is the standard size, I guess, like 8.5. I hadn't really measured stuff on here before, but I will do it now. So I guess 8.5 by 4.5, maybe just a little bigger than 4.5. So let's get started. I love using seam binding. I think I'm addicted to seam binding. So I wanted to, of course, it's closed. This one is closed off with seam binding. And it's just this pretty yellow honey color. I just love it. And here's the cover. Here I go with my ands again. It's that Texas drawl, or I don't know what it's called. Y'all and. But anyway, so here's the cover. I put a little Brad here. It's just so cute. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, so there's the Brad. It's just so cute. I did seam binding around, a little bit of sequence, and some cardstock in the back. So this made it into a pocket, and just kind of made a tag. And then this pocket actually goes all the way down to the bottom, so it's that big. And this is the tag is not as big. You can add a tag that big. I didn't. I just had this one. Thought it was big enough just to add your established, basically the date of your journal when you started it. And it just, the whole punch and a little seam binding. So that goes in here. So cute. I sewed it all around. So then here's the inside. It's got a big pocket here. It's sewed all around with a little bit of sequence. And a nice, the library card that I usually put in my journals with some seam binding. A real pretty children's book page illustration. And I did print on the other side of this, but when I cut it down, it kind of cut all the little decorative pieces, but it's still printed. I'm pretty sure you can't tell on the video, but it's not just white. It's a little yellowish, a little orangish look to it. So here's this pocket, nice big pocket with seam binding down the bottom or on the side, and made this tag for it. It's also got a tag, a pocket, I mean, with a little ephemera from Hotlz. These little cards with the Q, and then this one with the rose on it. And then I also attached a quote by William Shakespeare that says, "When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew." Thought that was so nice. So, thought it was nice. Put a little bling, seam binding, seam binding. And it's got plenty of space for you to journal. So this goes in here. Then we got this side, more journaling spot. You're gonna put a photo, whatever it is that you want, and then here's some fabric that's been sewn down the side with this nice, beautiful, like vintage floral print. And then it's got this printed on the other side as well. Here's the vintage book page, some tea-stained paper, nice big pocket with seam binding, and it's got a coffee-stained receipt, and then this nice big tag. So that goes in here. Some graph paper that's been tea-stained music sheet. Here's another tag that I made that also has a pocket, and it says Discover. So it's really a real pretty floral print. I got this from Tsunami Rose. So I thought that was just so pretty with some seam binding. And then I backed it so that you can journal back here. This is tea-stained ledger paper. And then this card is also backed with tea-stained ledger paper. So I thought that was just nice, and it goes there. Ledger paper. I like to leave it with the flap instead of cutting it. It's because it just gives you more room to journal, gives more room. Here's some crinkly tracing paper that's been tea-stained. And here is a book page that's been tea-stained as well. And it shows different trees, what kind of trees they are, post oak, black oak, that kind of stuff. More graph paper, more paper that's been tea-stained. Here's this opens up, and I sewed a pocket here with some seam binding, stamped with some stamping, and then made this tag as well. Here's a really pretty napkin with a bird on it. I just love these colors. So I put that in here. You could do decoupage. I mean, there's just so many nice things you can do with this napkin. And here's some patterned paper. Here is this nice big paper. It's cardstock, I guess. This is from a book that I bought a while back, and I've just been taking the pages off of it, and I like to put it here in the middle of the traveler's notebook. They're just so pretty with all these little windows, a door and windows. And then I made another little book with some canvas that has some birds stamped on it with a little seam binding, and this is also the same paper as this. And then it's got it's been bound, so I sewed it, and then it's got some little pages in here. So I thought that was so cute. So that's in here. Here's the other side, tea-stained paper, graph paper. Here's the other side of that, the trees, the tracing, the ledger, tea-stained paper, the music page. This is so pretty. Graph, more of this paper. Here's the other side of that vintage book page. Here's another big pocket that's got canvas and seam binding and fabric and one of those guest checks. Some more paper, some more fabric here, and I added the Tim Hotlz relatives card, so that goes in there. The other side of that beautiful floral paper printout, I sewed this really big butterfly, Tim Holtz butterfly, and all this spot to a journal. And here's the other side of that children's illustration. So you see, and then here's the other side. And then I actually embroidered this myself. It's not fancy or anything, but I just got a piece of linen, and I, you know, put it on the embroidery thing, and I just embroidered just a quick starburst or a flower. I don't know what that is. And then some seam binding, and then it's got the vintage Tim Holtz, what is it, safety pin, and I put some beads on there. So this works as a pocket. So I put this here, nice big tag, or a cute tag, and then this tag here. It's got the flower with, I guess it's a prima flower, I forget what they call them, with the little brad. So that goes in here. And that's it. That's the back. So it's been bound, and this is it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down in the comment section. Please make sure that you like my video. I would really appreciate it. Like and share. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye.